This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, there's a new woman at the top of the Dunedin City Council, with Sandy Graham beating 50 others for the top job. Police officers and non-sworn staff paid respects to fallen colleagues at their annual Remembrance Day. And Queenstown's English Language School has closed its doors as there's not enough people needing to study English in the resorts. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Sophie Morris. The Dunedin City Council has gone in-house for its appointment of a new chief executive, giving the role to Sandy Graham, who's been filling it in an acting capacity. In a memo sent to council stakeholders, Dunedin Mayor Aaron Hawkins confirmed Ms Graham has been appointed the council's new chief executive following a recruitment process.
Walking into a media briefing as the newly minted Chief Executive of the Dunedin City Council, Sandy Graham says having the role in an acting capacity was a good taster for the real thing.
So the first day that I was acting, I hated it because I came in and everyone looked at me differently, and so I went home and I talked with my partner and came back the next day and just got on with it. And from that point on, from that second day, I loved every minute of it. So I have enjoyed the breadth and the responsibility and the opportunity to actually set some of the direction. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that now in the permanent role.
She was one of 51 people who applied for the top job at the DCC, with candidates applying from all across the world. Dunedin Mayor Aaron Hawkins is confident Sandy Graham will be a great fit.
It's my pleasure today to welcome Sandy Graham as the city's new Chief Executive Officer after signing employment agreements this morning, coming to the end of what has been a reasonably lengthy but robust process, as you would expect for a position of this seniority.
Graham has worked at the DCC since 2007, working her way up from being a webmaster through to being the General Manager of City Services, which she began in 2018. However, she's literally worked from the ground up, having worked on roading gangs many years ago.
And I worked out of Ward Street when it was then a city council pre-amalgamation, a city council department. So I worked on a chip sealing gang, on asphalting and curb and tunneling back in the days when you hand laid concrete. It was great. Skills you still need. I laid a concrete pad recently.
Sandy Graham is due to have her first day at the top job on October 13th, after some previously arranged time off during the school holidays. Her remuneration for the role is due to be just over $400,000 per annum, and having turned 55 at the weekend, Graham describes being selected for the role as a welcome birthday present. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A Terrace community spokesman says residents living near the proposed new international airport have still to hear from the airport's backers. In July, Christchurch International Airport bought up 750 hectares of terrace farmland for the construction of a new jet-capable airport with a 2-kilometre runway. Airport managers say they have met with Central Otago people, gathering information and a wide range of views of the proposal. However, Terrace community spokesman Chris Goddard, who lives directly opposite the planned airport, says he's had no luck in trying to engage with the airport team. A community meeting is planned for this Sunday at the Community Hall for locals to share their views with Waitaki MP Jackie Dean. Dozens of officers, families and members of the community gathered at Dunedin's First Church yesterday morning. They were part of several police Remembrance Day services held across the country to remember fallen police staff.
Dunedin's First Church was filled with those attending the annual Police Remembrance Day service on Tuesday. The day remembered all 33 staff who served in the police force since 1886 and were slain on duty, as well as others who died as a result of their police injuries. The annual service also takes time to acknowledge current and former police employees who have passed away in the last year.
It's a time when we pause, we reflect, and we collectively remember the members of our police whānau who are no longer with us but who gave us so much.
The Remembrance Service is held each year on the 29th of September, which is Michaelmas, a day celebrating Saint Michael, the patron saint of police.
Archangel Michael is known for his ability to protect and cast out evil, which lies at the heart of police officers and protectors of the peace everywhere. Michael is the angel of protection. He is invoked in times of danger. Whenever we feel the spirit of evil playing around the edges of our world, we may call on the Archangel Michael to keep us safe from harm.
The New Zealand Police Roll of Honour acknowledged 28-year-old Matthew Hunt, who was shot dead and his partner severely wounded during a traffic stop in Auckland in June.
With sadness this year, we acknowledge the death of Constable Matthew Hunt, slain on duty. Matt was raised on the Hibiscus coast by his mother Diane with his sister Eleanor. He attended Otago College and it was his lifelong dream to become a police officer. Before joining the New Zealand Police, he completed a Bachelor of Arts in Criminology and worked at Auckland Prison as a case manager. He also spent time living in the United Kingdom before he returned to New Zealand to join police.
The list of police officers in Otago and Southerland slain on duty includes Constable James Butler in 1938, Constable Donald Stokes in 1966, Constable Peter Murphy in 1976, and Senior Constable Peter Umbers and Sergeant Stuart Guthrie, both in 1990. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Other Police Remembrance Day commemorations took place across the South, including a service held in Queenstown, where the region's police force were thanked on behalf of the community.
St Peter's Church in Queenstown saw the annual Police Remembrance Day held at 11 o'clock yesterday, the same time as many other services attended by friends and families of police across the country. Queenstown Lakes District Councillor Craig Ferguson thanked the police on behalf of the district. He also acknowledged Senior Constable Peter Umbers, aged 35, of Ranfurly, who was slain on duty in 1990. And 37-year-old Detective Travis Hughes of Queenstown, who died in a helicopter crash in 2005, as well as 2 slain officers he'd known in the North Island.
As we remember those from within our police communities who paid the ultimate price in the line of duty, I do remember Senior Constable Peter Umbers from Ranfurly and Detective Travis Hughes from Queenstown. A couple of other names for me: Glenn McKibben from Hastings, a young lad who, prior to moving into the police force, worked for my late father-in-law after school. And Senior Constable Len Snee from Napier, who I played rugby with for Hawke's Bay, and against as well. From the verse of A Hero's Welcome: you have not failed your brothers, you clearly gave it all. And through your selfless actions, others will hear the call.
The service was led by the Reverend David Wright. In Queenstown, the South Today.
A man swept out to sea near Oamaru this morning was able to get himself back on shore. Just before 8 a.m, police received a call of a man being swept out to sea in the Fisheries Road area near Glenavy, north of Oamaru. When emergency services arrived, they found the man back on shore. He was assessed by St John Ambulance paramedics at the scene and then taken to Oamaru Hospital in a moderate condition. Police say he was wearing a life jacket. One of Queenstown's language schools has gone into hibernation as the last students completed their courses. Language Schools New Zealand is now shut down, but its owner remains positive about the future.
It's goodbye to the last few graduates at Language Schools New Zealand in Frankton, which went into hibernation this week. Elia Perrin, who was a student over last summer, says for many it was more than just a school.
The school is a part of my journey here in New Zealand, and it is and always has been a big part of everyone's journey here, because lots of people start here in the language school, they find friends, they start building up a community and find a job.
Owner Guy Hughes says it's been a dramatic change from what looked like would be a big year for the school.
92 students the week before lockdown, and bookings were going really, really well. It was going to be a very good year for a lot of people in town, including us. The unimaginable happened, and we've worked our way down from 15 staff, 92 students, down to zero of both today, from today.
Hughes remains positive about the school's future, and his former student agrees.
For me, nothing is permanent. So therefore, I know that the school is going into a hibernation sleep, and it is a goodbye for now, but it's not a goodbye forever.
The school's been running for 27 years, and redundant staff say they're keen to return when the school restarts. In Queenstown, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, party representatives give their pitches in Invercargill, and we meet the Wakatipu High School band making noise at the smoke-free Rock West finals.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Hi, Alec Campbell Menswear. We're back in George Street on the corner of Hanover Street. Come and check out our big store. It's a big space full of bargains. Now look at these shirts. There's shirts for everybody here. Look at these merino pullovers, stacks of moleskins, literally tons of trousers. Check out these big racks of sports jackets. Beautiful.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So come and check out Alec Campbell Menswear. We're back on George Street in the old ANZ building.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Welcome back. About 100 people listened as party representatives gave their best pitch in Invercargill on Tuesday night. The Meet the Candidates event was held at the Southern Institute of Technology's centre stage.
9 political candidates got to speak their mind in Invercargill last night. A number of them talked about how they understood the government system to work in this country.
In Parliament, it's not a theatre. Parliament is not a theatre. Although some of the buffoons we've got in there, you wouldn't think it was.
It's built into our politics that the opposition party or the minor parties are supposed to criticise the government all the time. And isn't it so easy to criticise and to fall back on criticism?
Over the years I've seen an increase in loneliness, depression and people not getting things done that they want to get done.
In politics, you actually need to find a way to work together across the whole of government.
The general election is now only 2.5 weeks away. In Invercargill, the South Today.
For the second consecutive year, a Wakatipu High School band has come second from about 900 bands in the Smoke-Free Rock Quest 2020 National Finals, despite this year being one member down. Haven was formed in 2016 by Jack Wilson, Ryan Conahan and Harrison Maguire.
Finding their musical place of solace. Queenstown band Haven may have dropped a member, but that's not stopped them from placing well at this year's Smoke-Free Rock Quest.
We've done Rock Quest 4 times now, and we never expected to, let alone place in the top 3 once, which we did last year, but to do it again is just like beyond my wildest dreams.
Yes,
you know?
it's a bit crazy
So
to even think about.
Yeah, totally insane and unexpected.
With COVID-19 prohibiting the nationwide final being held in front of a live audience, as is usually the case, instead the boys were flown to Auckland last week to film a video and have a recording session ahead of live streaming of the finals on Thursday night. Coming second place wasn't the only accolade for the Southern Rockers.
And I also got the overall musicianship award this year as well, which is even more insane. So
Yeah, so now that that's happened, we're just really excited for the years to come because we're staying together. We're going to Wellington, and we're going to hopefully do this for as long as we can.
Harrison Maguire received $500 prize money for that accolade, and the duo say they'll split the $5,000 in vouchers for musical equipment from the Rock Shop, which they received for coming second in the nationwide final. In Queenstown, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, an unusual white powder being used in an artistic practice draws an artist back to Dunedin, and we check out tomorrow's weather.
Every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Step into Shop on Carrot and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Hi, Alex Campbell Menswear. We're back in George Street on the corner of Hanover Street. Come and check out our big store. It's a big space full of bargains. Now look at these shirts. There's shirts for everybody here. Look at these merino pullovers, stacks of moleskins, literally tons of trousers. Check out these big racks of sports jackets. Beautiful.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So come and check out Alex Campbell Menswear. We're back on George Street in the old ANZ building.
Ah, TV, our favourite babysitter. But it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
Inside are all sorts of innovations from all over China.
Welcome back. The discovery of a box of what looked like white powder at Dunedin Art School led artist Tim Barlow back to his old place of study for a residency. And he'll be using old methods which have been rediscovered in recent years by people in Dunedin who are restoring heritage buildings.
Making a hot mess. Visiting artist Tim Barlow has come full circle and is back in Dunedin on a residency at Otago Polytechnic, where he's using recently rediscovered old techniques.
Doing this hot mix is not a process that is known in this country or is used anymore. It's a very old historic process.
Barlow left the Dunedin School of Art in the mid-1990s, leaving behind a large bag of white powder, which led to Otago Polytechnic tracking him down and saw him returning there this week.
And I'll be casting a number of old-time concrete fence posts as artistic creations over the next several weeks.
Barlow lives on the Kapiti coast and has been talking with Dunedin-based artists, masons and heritage restorers about trying to devise ways of creating and working with burnt lime.
This is what a whole group of heritage restorers and stonemasons in Dunedin have been working on as a part of the restoration of brick and stone buildings.
Tim Barlow's work features in The Complete Entanglement of Everything, currently on at the Dunedin School of Art at Otago Polytechnic. In Dunedin, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. There's a new woman at the top of the Dunedin City Council, with Sandy Graham beating 50 others for the top job. Police officers and non-sworn staff paid respects to fallen colleagues at their annual Remembrance Day. And Queenstown's English Language School has closed its doors as there's not enough people needing to study English in the resorts. And time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, lots of politics in the paper tomorrow as we get closer to October 17 and Judgment Day, I guess. Leaders debate tonight with Jacinda Ardern and Judith Collins out there to convince us that they deserve our vote. It's second leaders debate, and kind of everyone hoping a bit more fire than the first time round, which was a little bit boring. They might take a leaf out of the US leaders debate today and start hurling a few insults at each other. Who knows? But we'll have coverage of that on our website tonight, and then a full analysis in tomorrow's ODT. We've also got a nice little political story, a Dunedin couple who sit on opposite sides of the political spectrum. They've both erected opposing billboards in their front yard, so there's a bit of battle going on at home there in Forbury. The Labour one came first, and then the husband decided he had to match that and came up with a national billboard. So the secret apparently is not to discuss politics at home, so it seems to be working for them. A bit of a miraculous story today out at Oamaru as well, where a whitebaiter at the mouth of the Waitaki River was struck by a wave and washed out to sea. His waders filled up with water, and he just out he went. Fortunately, he was wearing a life jacket, so after 20 minutes of being out at sea, he was rescued, brought back to shore. His wife was standing on the shore watching this all unfold as well. So we managed to talk to her, and yeah, she was pretty horrified, as you can imagine. They've been going up there for about 15 years. It's a regular holiday for them, but she said it just shows how quickly these sorts of things can happen, and the importance of a life jacket too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we've also got plenty on Dunedin's worst kept secret as well, with the appointment of Sandy Graham today as the new chief executive. We have a bit of a sit down with Sandy and look at what her plans are for the city. And we continue our Ranfurly Shield build-up as well. We talked to a couple of Highlanders who are looking forward to the big game, but they'll be donning the black and white of Hawke's Bay in the Shield Challenge. So we hope they play well, but not too well.
Right. Okay, well, thank you, Craig.
Thank
All
you.
of that and more in tomorrow's ODT. And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the city view. What a difference a day makes. Sunshine over Dunedin CBD this afternoon. Looking at the situation, some milder days are on the way as northerly airflow arrives, but this will bring some rain to western areas and the ranges. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, partial cloud and 14 degrees in Greymouth and Mesport. To the northeast, mostly sunny with 18 degrees in Blenheim and 15 in Nelson. In Canterbury, sunshine for the region with 15 degrees in Kaikoura, 14 degrees in Christchurch and 17 in Ashburton. To the southern towns, the Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore can expect moderate northwesterlies, some cloud and 15 degrees. In central, light winds and fine weather with 16 degrees in Queenstown, 17 in Wanaka, 18 in Alexandra, moderate northwesterlies and some cloud in Tiano with 15 degrees. To the northern towns, light winds and fine conditions with 16 degrees in Timaru and 15 degrees in Oamaru, while it's 18 degrees inland in Omarama and Twizel. In Dunedin, fine and cold tonight with frost and an overnight low of -3. Sunny periods and some high cloud tomorrow with light to moderate northeasterly winds developing, a high of 14 and a low of 5. Moderate milder northerlies on Friday with high cloud increasing during the day, a high of 16 and a low of 7. And in Invercargill, fine and frosty tonight with an overnight low of -2. Milder with high cloud increasing tomorrow and moderate northwesterly winds developing, a high of 14 and a low of 7. Cloudy on Friday with a few showers possible, moderate to fresh northwesterly winds, a high of 15 and a low of 7. That's all for our news this Wednesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz or follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.